Well, that was just a summer job. Dad had that commission, and it was summertime. I was at college, and so sure I can do this. You know, as you remember, you and me working on the wood part of stuff all the time, and he had kind of sketched out. And it was a good way to spend a whole summer with Dad. So I got to help fabricate it, burn it, and then install it, which involved climbing up on scaffold that was really, really tall. And I recall I dropped his camera from the very top of the scaffold all the way to the floor, and it didn't destroy it. So flabbergasted to see them take it out after such a short time.
Well, I saw it stretched out in that photo on the lawn, on the north lawn, that it was almost the whole length of the north lawn. It was such a long piece.
It was a very, very tall piece. It was a very striking piece.
So did they require then that, were they specifically wanting something that would go that tall?
Yeah, it was to go on the post. It's the width of a structural element in that room, and so it just goes up the side of that, and so yeah, very much meant for that space. It did make me think, you know, when they were moving from the old St. John's in Seward, the old traditional church, to the new church, you know, and I was a kid, and I didn't have a lot of sympathy for the people who were pining for the old artwork and the old, you know, atmosphere of the old church. Oh, that's going to be torn down, what a shame, that's terrible, you know. But yeah, get with it, you know. Well, now I kind of have more sympathy for something that, you know, I was involved with, and now somebody's decided that that's out of date and has moved it out of their sanctuary and put it someplace else.
That was one huge piece. A lot of glass. And then he also did a altarpiece.
Yeah, there's a thing across the front of the altar, which translates okay to putting on a wall someplace, but you know, taking that down off of there. At the time, too, when we were putting that in, you know, they had this nice new sanctuary, and so they're putting these kind of new, modern things on there. But then also there were two things that had these kitschy plaster statues of St. Joseph and St. Mary, and they said, well, Father says, you know, those have to be in here,
Sure.
So, yeah, we got to have that, you know. And it just really looked out of place. That's the danger of the Catholic aesthetic, I guess, when it comes to worship art, is that there's an element of tradition that is more important necessarily than necessarily artistic consideration.
Sure. And about how much time did you spend on that? Did that take all summer or a couple months?
That was 2-3 months.
Wow.
Yeah, that was my whole summer job for that.
Was it like being on the scaffold?
Dad was glad I was there. That didn't bother me so much. We lashed it up pretty good, considering I usually have a fear of heights, because we were right up to the ceiling, but I don't know, maybe it was because I put...
And that was what, like 40, 50 feet up there?
Yeah, straight up.